So today I got another of those records from my collection that I feel is perfect in every way. Obviously, as I say, nothing is perfect, but to my ear and to my eye, this puppy is perfect. I'm talking about Metallica Ride the Lightning from 1984. Now, I clearly remember getting this. It was a momentous day in England because it was a general election and Thatcher was trying to get a third term, which she did. No further comment. But on this day I got that and I got Kill 'Em All. I'd already purchased Master of Puppets some months earlier and at first struggled with it, but then grew to love it. And so I thought, right, okay, I'm in a cheap record store. These two are staring me in the face. How much are they? Less than a fiver each. Maybe a fiver each. They're brand new. I'm going to get them both. And I'm glad I did. Personally, out of the two, Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, I prefer Ride the Lightning. So a bit of background, this was recorded in Copenhagen at a place called Sweet Silence Studios, great name. Produced by another great name, Flemming Rasmussen, who I presume is Danish. A well-known producer that Metallica got hold of to work on this record. The guys themselves worked hard to make a brilliant record. They had to hone their skills a little bit because they weren't used to recording in the studio. Writing and recording in the studio. A lot of it was done on the road, so this was a new experience for them. Lars Ulrich, the drummer, had to not so much get lessons, but just had to get a few tips from the studio's drum tech at the time, just to basically learn how to keep time better, which does surprise me because I just thought the reason people slagged him off over the years is because he just didn't practice. Maybe that's true as well. Anyway, Dave Mustaine had left the band by now, but his influence is still on this, his writing influence. Kirk Hammett was now on lead guitar from Exodus, and his influence is on this as well. But it's mainly written by James Hetfield. But the reason there's such a dramatic improvement between this and Kill 'Em All, and there is, even though I love Kill 'Em All, there is a dramatic improvement in songwriting and performance. One of the main reasons is Cliff Burton, the late lamented Cliff Burton on bass, because that was a musician who understood music theory, and he was able to help out on compositions and explain certain things to James Hetfield. And so this is why this is such a great record, and why I think it's pretty damn perfect in every way. I love these pictures on the back. They just show the band. They show the band live. But look at the energy. Look at Burton. Look at Cliff Burton there. Just at the bottom there. Just, that is energy. That is real energy. And to see them at this stage must have been fantastic. Even if a lot of the time they said this, they would struggle to keep in time, etc. I don't think anybody would notice, would they? They'd just be enthralled by the power that was coming off that stage. So, what songs do we have on here? Well, we have 8 classics, as far as I'm concerned. You know some of them. For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, Escape, Creeping Death. The opening track, Fight Fire with Fire, which bleeds brilliantly into the title track, Ride the Lightning. Absolutely superb. I mean, you only have to say those words and you can hear the riff in your head. That's how good this is. There's not many records that do that. There's a few, but not many. To me, that's a sign of great music. If you can hear it just from talking about it, you can hear it in your head, then that's something that's been well recorded, well written, and well played, which I believe this record has. Absolutely superb. The production's good, very good actually. And the final song on there, it's not a song, it's an instrumental, side 2, track 4, The Call of Cthulhu, which is, as I say, a 9-minute instrumental. And it's superb. It features timpani, which is very unusual for heavy metal to feature that kind of drum. But it works. You would think, how can that work? But it does work. They make it work. That's a big decision, to put timpani on a heavy metal album and make it work. You could do it and not make it work, but to be able to make it work shows the quality of this wonderful record. So how did it do as far as the critics go? Well, they loved it. They seemed to think it was a magnificent step forward for the band compared to Kill 'Em All, which again is great for what it is. It's raw, it's young, it's energetic, but this is a big step forward. And that's why the critics loved it. The public loved it too. In America alone, this puppy sold 7 million records. That's crazy. For a heavy metal album, that's crazy. But great, obviously. It deserves to sell 7 million records. And long may it sell 7 million more. As far as the charts go, let's have a look. What did it do on the charts? Not that it really matters, but it's interesting. Now, this is interesting because Finland put it to number 1. Sorry, Finland put it to number 9, which is good. It's great, actually. Poland put it to number 4. So countries like that, smaller European nations, really, really took this to their hearts. In particular, Poland. The US, number 48. So, not bad. Britain, number 87. So, it only just scratched the surface, really, of the public consciousness at the time. But, I mean, I remember seeing this in an advert, of all things, in an Argos catalogue for record storage. This, along with some other records, were in the storage, the picture of the storage, showing you how to store your records. Back in the day when we stored records. Some of us still do, thankfully. So, have you heard Metallica's Ride the Lightning? You must have heard some of it. And isn't it phenomenal? Even today, those riffs, those song structures, that bass, absolutely superb. Even Lars Ulrich and his drumming is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. People do slag him, and I can see why. I don't get all this standing up at live gigs, but that's who he is, that's what he does. Maybe he's having a rest. Anyway, so that is Metallica, Ride the Lightning from 1984.